guys, it's the Saintsman, and just a short video getting out of Scotland. And the reason is because I've got out of Scotland today. I went up to Scotland yesterday and delivered this morning at 8:45 in south of Glasgow. And look, I got that delivered, I was done. 8:45 delivered and parked at a McDonald's. And trying to get loads out of Scotland. I haven't been up for a while to start with, but wow. If you're in I've got a short wheelbase van, I know it can carry medium wheelbase, but if you think you're going to get £1 a mile coming out of Scotland, unless it's your own customer or it's a shipper who uses you regularly and would rather pay you more, then it's never going to happen. Never going to happen. I chatted with Neil from Neptune Couriers about it, and it is getting more and more difficult to get decent money out of Scotland. This morning I ended up, there was quite a bit of work around the Glasgow area. I put my feed on at 50 miles, but there was enough in the 30-mile range to quote on, and I did quote. And I started off first thing, so the 75 pence. That's my sort of backload rate for a short wheelbase. For a small van, maybe 65 to 70p, 70 pence. And I must have put 8 or 9 quotes in and nothing. So I actually phoned one of the shippers. I did some work for him before, a couple of jobs, wasn't regular work. And there was a job that I quoted on, but he'd already sold it, sort of thing. As I put the quote in, it was sold. And I just asked him what the sort of, so I knew where I stood. And he normally gets people willing to do it for 60 pence to get out of Scotland, and 55 pence, and sometimes even 50 pence. And these are not what I call cowboys, or people just willy-nilly putting quotes in, or with bad feedback. These are actually drivers who just want to get back to England, which is, it's become a backload getting out of Scotland. You have to quote a backload, and a lot of jobs were backload prices only as well. But it shouldn't be, but it is. That's it. A few videos back, I put about what to charge, and someone said you shouldn't charge 65p or 60p ever. You should just run home empty and leave it for a decent courier, so the decent couriers can get the work. We disagreed. I just said, well, I agree with your principle, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, and it's been like that for a while. Eventually I did get a job out of Scotland, and it's to East Midlands Airport, and it was at a Glasgow airport, a company near Glasgow Airport. And I needed photo ID and 2 forms of ID, photo ID, which I've got. And whether that helps or not, I don't know. I've got really good feedback. I've got nearly 900 positive feedbacks, no negatives. So, did that get me the job, or was it the fact I quoted it at 65 pence a mile, which gets me to Derby, or should I say it gets me to East Midlands Airport, which is closer to home for me, but I got the job, and it's a small pallet, 35 kilo pallet. But I quoted in the end on 14 jobs, and I was quoting regularly 70, 75 pence. I quoted 3 jobs at 65 pence, because one was a longer distance one. One was to Bedford, which got me 16 miles from home. Never got it. And they're not cancelled jobs, they're just, I'm quoting too high. So that's what I quoted, and that's what got me the job. That, and I think positive feedback. There was a lot of drivers in Glasgow as well. The only thing I will do now when I come to Scotland, I'll only come up to Scotland, the latest day of the week will be a Wednesday, to deliver on a Wednesday, to give me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get back home. Especially if I go up to Aberdeen, which I don't do very often. But yeah, I got really good money coming up. because it was private. It was a private job, so I could afford to do it at 65p, and I'm still averaging 85 pence every mile, which over the distance I'm doing, which at the moment this 2-day trip is 782 miles, and I've still got about 150 in total for me to get home. So 930 mile trip, which makes it a good trip, but it is a risk, because today if I hadn't have got a job, was I going to do jobs around Scotland, which do get you more money because you're staying in Scotland, you're not looking for long distance, or do you just sit and wait? And I'm flexible, I'm prepared to go anywhere. I quoted a job to Cardiff, didn't get that. I quoted a job to Feltham, obviously Heathrow, didn't get that. I quoted the one to Bedford, I quoted one with 2 drops in Hertfordshire, didn't get that. I quoted to 2 or 3 jobs to the Manchester area, didn't get that. So, you know, there's others as well. But that's it, that's what I believe Scotland is now. For you to get home, that's the price. It's not right, don't get me wrong, it's not right, but it's market forces. If you don't want to do jobs for 65 pence out of Scotland's 70p, if you can get 70, I wouldn't go, because you're going to sit there, you're going to drive back empty. The simple fact is you drive back empty wherever. And I'm 300 odd miles from Scotland, 350 miles. So to drive back empty is a no-no, really. So, interested in your thoughts on it. It's just the market forces. I wish it was different. I wish the money out of Scotland was £1 a mile, because it would be fantastic. It would make it, that's what the job should be, but it isn't. So anyway, just a short one. Speak soon.